Hey, it's game one of the National League Wildcard Series. Your Dodgers are playing in it, and they're going to beat the Reds. We're going to talk about all the things that happened today. The roster looks different than what we talked about last night. What the lineup looks like. We're going to call some shots. We're going to talk Blake Snell and all those kind of things here in this edition of All Dodgers. Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast. Part of the Bleav Network, a podcast presented by FanDuel. You guys see the people on my screen right in the middle. That is Jeff Snider. On the all the way other side, that is Kevin Skinner. We are the talking heads that make up the All Dodgers podcast. And it's game day, boys. Blake Snell versus Hunter Greene, Dodger Stadium. Jeff is not there because of ticketing issues. But, yeah, Kevin, I'm going to start with you because I usually go to Jeff first, but screw that guy. Kevin, how you feeling about this game one?
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Cubs gonna win it, right? That's the song. I learned the song, or at least I learned the refrain to it.
So proud of you, man. Of course, you guys know you saw him last night. Big-time Cubs fan. He's a happy boy. Big
Cubbies fan over here.
What jersey were you wearing, by the way?
I got Mookie on.
Okay.
I'm going to do Mookie today. I'll do Shohei tomorrow, and then if it goes to game 3, I'll do Shohei again.
I won't go to game 3. Anyways, you were saying.
But I'm excited. I literally it is all that's been on my mind all day. I just can't wait to get to game time, first pitch. Like I talked about yesterday, it's a lot more fun not having to face a divisional opponent. It feels like I can really enjoy it. And if it doesn't go the Dodgers way, that's going to suck and I'm going to hate it. But I'll hate it a lot less than if they lose to the Diamondbacks or the Padres. So,
Jeff, how you feeling? Better than Kevin's Cubs jersey?
Yeah, I'm excited for baseball. We
had a day off. That's tough.
Postseason's always going to be stressful, but day one we can go into it with nothing but optimism. And honestly, we have the excitement of the roster reveal that it really, like most years, this roster reveal is kind of a formality, and we kind of thought it might be this time. And we got, I'd say, a couple surprises at least. You could maybe most people probably had 3 surprises. We had maybe 2 because I mentioned on Twitter, we heard last night after we were done recording, you got a text from a source saying that he had heard that Anthony Banda might be left off the roster. So we spent a little time after we were done recording last night talking about why that might be. So that particular one wasn't maybe as much a surprise, but we did talk when we were talking about the only real way to do that is to go with an 11-man pitching staff. And they might do that. But once we decide, maybe they're going to do 11-man pitching staff, you're like, well, then of course Conforto makes the roster. If they're taking 15 position players, of course Michael Conforto will be one of them, right?
Nope. Guys, we made it. We are out of Conforto season. That was the regular season. We survived it. Let me throw it's not even projected. Sorry, that is the official roster. I will update that while talking. But on the pitching side, like you mentioned, the surprise there is no Anthony Banda. In the moment, still, even last night, it was a surprise to us when we were told and we were just kind of talking through it. But ultimately, I guess it makes sense in Dave's vision that they do have a lot of lefties already in the bullpen. You would imagine Anthony Banda is added back to the if they make it, if we are so blessed and lucky to make it to the division series, he'll be back, and also Clayton Kershaw will be a part of that roster. So there's going to be a lot of lefties, making me feel better about my idea of Kershaw being the Game 4 starter, and then Tyler Glasnow in the bullpen. But that's another conversation. But the Will Smith being in there is essentially a pinch hitter. Hyeseong Kim making the roster, and Justin Dean, who, Jeff, I'll put this back up on the screen in a little bit, but you and I, when we did our roster show, I think on Sunday, you and I were talking before when making up a graphic like that. We're like, well, we should probably put everybody that's on the 40-man roster, but there's no way in hell you're going to see a Justin Dean or Esteury Ruiz or insert the other guy that's also on the 40-man roster.
Alex Freeland was the other one.
Alex Freeland. Yeah. Yet, Justin Dean wins out because speed and defense are more important than Michael Conforto.
Yeah, and what we said was none of those guys will make it unless one of these guys in the questionable health column don't make it. Turns out all 3 of those guys did. What we didn't anticipate was them going 11-man roster. 11-man pitching staff. And I did think Justin Dean made the most sense out of those three. Ruiz didn't make any sense because he's not as fast as Dean and not as good defensively. And so why would you bring him up? Alex Freeland, not really a place for him, not really a need for him. So Dean makes the most sense there, especially when you remember Dave Roberts knows a thing or two about the value of a pinch runner in the postseason. Mm-hmm. He may have a little bit of experience with that. And now having both Justin Dean and Hyeseong Kim available off the bench so that with Ben Rortvedt, he's slow. Who else is in the starting lineup? Kiké Hernandez is slow. You've got Freddie Freeman's slow. You don't want to take Freddie Freeman's bat out of the lineup unless you have to, but there's going to be opportunities for pinch running and to have guys having guys there who can steal a base when they need to. Like I love this approach. If they decided there's no way we're going to need more than 11 pitchers, especially because we do have Shohei Ohtani, so our 11 pitchers is actually 12 to get through hopefully 2 games. But even if it goes 3 games, not going to need more pitchers than that. Then let's get some speed. Let's get some where we can optimize our chance of scoring when guys get on base. We can optimize our defense late in the innings. Even Alex Call is a decent option to pinch run. They've got some options now, which is I'm a big fan of how they compose this roster.
Yeah, I had tweeted earlier today when it came out, this whole thing. It's like it's going to be a 2-game series. Might as well maximize your options on offense and, more importantly, defense. Offense, of course, being the wheels there. But somebody had said earlier in the chat, I want to find it. I think it was Matty Man 5 Dodge saying didn't think they had the gonads, but still shocked that this ended up happening. And same. We, like you said a few minutes ago, Jeff, we just assumed that Michael Conforto would be on this roster. Thankfully.
Although, in fairness to us, we did spend several minutes last night talking about the fact that Michael Conforto might not make this roster.
Yeah.
Because if they decide that he's not a starter, if he's not a good enough hitter to be in the starting lineup, then he has no value to the team, because you're going to use him as a pinch hitter when the reason he's not in the lineup is because he can't hit?
Yeah.
No. You're going to use him as a pinch runner when he's the 3rd slowest guy on the team? No. You're going to use him as a defensive replacement when he's the 2nd worst defender on the team? No. So if he's not good enough to start, there's no place on the roster for him. So I think we deserve credit for even bringing up the possibility last night. But I'm with Matty Man that I don't know how confident any of us were that they would actually pull the trigger on this. I did love that Dave Roberts said that the reason they left Conforto off was because they needed another infielder, when really it's Justin Dean who made it over him. It's like, sure. Yeah, Mikey. Oh, yeah, sorry. We just needed an infielder, noted infielder Justin Dean.
Yep, everybody loves him. And then, I know Kevin had some thoughts about the Will Smith. We had a good dialogue about Will Smith being in this lineup. And, the fact that he's not in the starting lineup, even at 80%. I don't know where he's at, but he is just such an incredible pinch hitter. I mean, 293 career off the bench. I think it's a 965 OPS plus, or OPS. OPS plus would be insane, but OPS off the bench. Dude is very, very good. So give me Will Smith pinch hitter over another lefty in Anthony Banda, and that's kind of what I think it broke down to.
Yeah, I like that they're basically calling their shot. They're saying our pitching staff is good enough. We expect our starters to go deep, so we don't need that many relievers in what we expect, or they expect to be a 2-game series. So let's add more guys on the position player side. So now they have every piece of flexibility and offensive firepower they could ever ask for. If you need a pinch runner, they got it. If they need defense, they got that. If they need pinch hitter, they've got that in Will Smith. So I like that they've clearly identified how they want to and how they expect to win this series. And now it is literally up to the players to go execute. On the Michael Conforto being left off the roster, I do think we deserve some credit for actually positing that. Yeah. I will say I was, in terms of confidence, of whether or not he'd be brought onto the roster, it's less than 50%, because you just the Dodgers, for the most part, kind of stick with their guys. But the point we all brought up yesterday was that last year they really did kind of say, no, we're going to go with our best guys. So that was a 1-year sample size. And now we're at 2 years at this point, where it looks like the team and the organization know, hey, if you don't cut it, you're not going to make the roster. And it was, to Jeff's point yesterday, that Conforto wasn't on the roster because they wanted him to be. It's like they just kept getting hurt, and they just didn't have a better option in the outfield than Michael Conforto. And so now, they're saying, hey, we've got better options, and if you're not a starter, there isn't a spot for him.
Good players, living players.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jeff.
I think we got more than 2-year sample size. I can go back to Craig Kimbrell, potential Hall of Fame closer.
I don't count him.
Didn't make the postseason roster.
He was so bad. They have arms galore in the.
Kimbrell was better in his year than Conforto was this year. Different position, but like quality wise, Kimbrell was better.
Yeah,
and he got left off. Yeah, I think this Dodgers team is shown pretty well that they are committed. The problem has been sometimes it's just they don't have the guys. Sometimes you do have to have the ghost of Albert Pujols and Steven Souza Jr. on your postseason roster because you don't have. Sometimes you have to have Cody Bellinger, who has forgotten how to hit on your roster. Sometimes you don't have better options. I can't think of a time. I'm not saying it's never. I can't think of a time that the Dodgers left a more deserving guy off the playoff roster in favor of less deserving. And cue somebody in the comments saying Tanner Scott over Anthony Banda right now.
Nameless already did that.
Okay, so
say that again.
Nameless. I like the logic of why Conforto isn't playing now. Someone please explain why Tanner Scott is money aside.
Well, he not playing. He's on the roster. Somebody's got pitchers in, and Anthony Banda has been bad against right-handed hitters this year, and the Reds have a couple guys who really mash righties. When they're going to have potential right-handed pinch hitters off the bench, especially in Game 2. Today the lineup's going to be stacked with righties against Blake Snell, but tomorrow's game with the righty on the mound, you're going to have Austin Hayes and Miguel Andujar coming off the bench. Are you really going to bring Anthony Banda in that situation? So either situation, the lefties are going to be there available, or the lefty mashers are going to be available. So yeah, I think it makes sense to leave the guy who's been bad against righties off the roster for this 2-game series.
I was listening to the fellas over on Dodger Blue earlier. Scott and Blake were talking about. I thought I saw Kevin get very excited in my
cheating on me
there.
Again.
But one of the things I like that Blake Williams had kind of brought up is that the Dodgers had sort of been telegraphing the fact that maybe they aren't as invested in Anthony Banda, or more so they're picking and choosing his lanes a little bit more, because he did have a generally good month of September, but it was also his least used month of the year. He only got it in 9 games versus every other month was 14, 11, 13, 12, 12.
Which all this makes me wonder if he's not 100% physically, not hurt enough to bring it up, but I'm not convinced he's 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's one series, and again, it's 2 games. Maybe it's a little bit of a slap in the face for Banda right now. It should be a slap in the face for Michael Conforto, but they're still, knock on desk, a lot of baseball to be played for this team. So ultimately, the wild card series, we're not going to remember this when we get to the LCS. When you get to the World Series, this will be like, oh yeah, remember that happened. Anyways, let's move on. Let's look at the lineup side of things, because it turns out you need to have hitters, good hitters, living hitters in the lineup to make up a lineup. But it's pretty much what we thought. I went with these images, which are difficult to see for people, so I apologize. But no real surprises in the lineup. I would say maybe if there's any surprise to me, it's Dave going with Freddie and Max back-to-back with the lefties there. But then you got Teo, switch hitter, and Tommy Edman. And importantly, I think I said it last night that Michael Conforto, his whole purpose was to be a placeholder for Kiké Hernandez in October. Kiké in left field. I love that, and Ben Rortvedt being the starting catcher. Any thoughts, any ill qualms about the lineup, Jeff?
No, this looks pretty good. Against what they're going up against, it would be nice to have another slugging left-hander. What Michael Conforto was supposed to be, but Hunter Greene's very good. He's very good against righties and lefties. And so, yeah, they're going to need to put their best lineup out there. Dodgers do have some good lefty hitters, understatement. And they have Andy Pajes, who has hit Hunter Greene really well in a very small sample size. And other good players, living players in the lineup. And then Ben Rortvedt can sacrifice bunt, and bing, bang, boom.
Easy peasy. Kevin, thoughts?
I wonder if the back-to-back is them telegraphing that as soon as Hunter Greene comes out and they put a right-hander in or a left-hander in for that run of Freddie, Max, Teo, if they sub-max out, because we don't know what his percentage is at either.
That's
He's
fair.
been dealing with a leg injury or a lower body injury. I think maybe he said leg bruising. I think I saw.
I think he said
somewhere.
kind of all over bodyitis for him.
Yeah, perfect. So if we take that at face value, that means Max Muncy is going to go on the IL with a UCL injury eventually. But it's a situation where I think maybe once they put a lefty in, Max gets pinch hit for. They have enough guys on the bench, right-handed guys on the bench to pinch hit there. But that's the only reason I could see them going Freddie, Max back-to-back. Because otherwise it doesn't make too much sense to me. But these are still, if you just said, give me the 4 best hitters and put them in some order, there's going to be 3 left-handed hitters at the top because those are 3 of the 4 best hitters on the team. So, I don't think roster construction means too much at the end of the day.
Lineup construction, you mean?
Lineup construction, yeah. I don't think it means too much at the end of the day, but I think that's the only reason they don't go with their typical right-left parity.
Yeah, I mean, Teo hasn't been phenomenal, and even so, he's going to be in a prime position for some ribbies, hopefully. Need to see something out of Tommy Edman. If I'm looking through this lineup, I really need to see, we were talking about it a little bit, I need to see a little bit more out of Edman today, because Miguel Rojas has been playing some pretty good ball of late, and for him to be on the bench over Tommy Edman, which is the right call, but it's short sample size or short series here. If Edman kind of loses it early, wouldn't be opposed to seeing our guy Miggy Rowe get in that lineup. By the way, top of the lineup, you got your buddy Shohei Ohtani. He's pretty good at baseball. The odds makers over at FanDuel, they got everything apparently about Ohtani. I was looking at this, so he is it's plus 162 to hit a homer tonight, minus 230 to record a hit, minus 130 to have 2+ total bases. So if you're looking to get your fix when it comes to that, we're having handshaking for a whole lot of things. Get your fix on over on FanDuel. Check it out. You can do a whole bunch of betting with Shohei Ohtani. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, I expect a big series out of Shohei for sure.
Jeff?
Definitely think.
Shohei thoughts?
Yeah,
before we move
I
to
think
Blake Snell.
Shohei Ohtani is good at baseball. Yeah.
Breaking news. All right, let's look at the matchup side of things. As we already knew, Blake Snell versus Hunter Greene. There are the numbers on the season. Of course, Blake Snell missed a majority of the season with some shoulder ouchies, but this is what they signed this dude for, to be a horse, to be an ace in October. I don't care if you missed the majority of the season, and this is where we had a lot of dialogue in the All Dodgers Discord during the season when I brought up my Kershaw take versus Tyler Glasnow. I'm happy Tyler Glasnow is happy and available in the postseason because he wasn't there last year, and I don't care what you do during the regular season most of the time, as long as you are healthy and ready to go here in the month of October, even though it is September 30th. So this is why they signed Blake Snell. Now it's time to reward that with hopefully a Tarek Skubal type of performance.
It'd be nice.
Jeff?
Okay.
Whichever one of you guys want. Rochambeau.
Jeff, go for it.
Yeah, Blake Snell probably isn't as good as Tarek Skubal right now, but he's not far off talent-wise. Obviously, Blake Snell's big issue has been health, but you look at when they were on the mound this year, similar quality. Tarek Skubal's the best pitcher in baseball right now, but quality-wise, but Blake Snell's top 5, And the Guardians, we looked it up. They're a little bit worse offensively than the Reds. Both are bad offensive teams. So it would be very nice to get, maybe we don't get, Skubal got into the, did he get into the eighth or into the eighth?
Yeah, he pitched 7 1/3.
That's right. Will Vest came in and got the last 5 outs. And, I doubt that Snell gets into the 8th, but quality-wise, I think we could get something similar to what we saw Skubal today, if not quite the quantity. Give us 7 innings of legit, even 6 I'd take with a well-rested bullpen, with a playing games that matter. So we're not just going to shoehorn Tanner Scott into high leverage just to see how it goes, because the games matter now. And so yeah, if Snell can give us 6, ideally 7, and obviously if the offense does their job, then it can just be relaxing. Maybe Tanner Scott can pitch tonight because it's 6-0. I'd take that.
Hopefully, one of the things I think would go a long way as well, and I'm trying to get onto not a sponsor, hashtag not a sponsor, but get onto SeatGeek to look at the ticket situation. I really want to make sure that Dodger fans are there early and loud. You got to remember this is a game that is starting an hour earlier, people. So if you're watching us, you better be watching us on the car on your way to Dodger Stadium. It looks like there's still a fair amount of tickets out there. Get-in price is about $50, which is pretty good. Jeff, you should have come down either way. We could have just put it on the All Dodgers tab, which still ends up
the
coming
problem
out of
was the logistics of getting down there because I had stuff going on this morning.
Can't
so.
you just do the genie?
I wish I could. Yeah, I would have been there if that was I would be at every game if I could do that. But 661 miles is a long drive.
Allegedly. We talked about it last night. I don't think the numbers changed here, but more FanDuel numbers for you guys. You should feel good about this game. Dodgers very much the favorites there. You see on the money line minus 190 and the Reds plus 160. The underdogs, hopefully the underdogs do not prevail in this one. Let's do final thoughts, maybe call our shots and all that kind of stuff, but programming notes. Jeff already put it in our Discord earlier if you guys are a part of the Discord, but post game tonight will be me and Alana on Dodgers territory. Post game will be here with the boys you see here on your screen, so keep it tubed in. Don't click on those other channels. We're here for you guys.
Kevin's going to be so tired by the time we go live. It's going to be after midnight where he is. He will have already watched his 2 favorite teams both win baseball games today. And yeah, he's going to be tired tonight. And
a long day for me.
If history is any guide, he may not be entirely sober too.
The Raiders aren't playing today, so they can't break.
No,
but
sad
it is a day. It is a day.
You
that
don't
ends in
happy
Y.
drink. You only sad drink.
Only sad drink. Yeah.
He also thirsty drinks.
Thirsty
whiskey drink. Let's do some picks.
Okay, Chumbawamba.
Called shots, your pick to click. I'm going to use Grayson's super chat here. It sent us $1.99 earlier. I pushed the button, but then it decided to be rude. It says Tommy Tank's going to channel his inner Kirk Gibson. We need to wait a few series for the Kirk Gibson and Tommy meet Gibby meet Freddie. But Tommy Tank's going yard. Yeah, I mean, if Joe went there, I think it would be honestly a little weak. And Paul Vaughn just said, Paul Vaughn. Well, it said $99 or $1.99 from Paul Vaughn, so appreciate Paul for supporting the show.
Paul's going yard.
I listen. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. It is a very, very sturdy limb. It's actually a toppled over tree, and it is a full old tree trunk. I've got Shohei Ohtani doing some damage in this game. I don't know about a leadoff homer, but I got a dinger. I got a show bomb tonight. What do you got, Jeff?
I got Marcus Lim bets. I think Mookie has a home and a double tonight. Yeah, sure. They could be back to back, but yeah, I think Mookie's hitting a homer and a double tonight, and making one play at shortstop that makes you say, "Man, that dude's a good shortstop."
Yeah, he's pretty.
I don't know about all that, but I'm still going with Mookie to be the odds-on reason why they end up winning today, because I think he's finally got some strength. He's fully healthy. He was easily the best hitter throughout the entire playoffs last season, so I expect that to continue. It is very hard to talk while a dog bites my hand, but I am doing my best.
Is that a euphemism?
No.
I think so.
Biting my hand.
I don't know if I push this one, but I'm going to do it either way. John, just like our friend Diane in the chat saying, guys, like, subscribe, comment, do all that kind of stuff. We're going to try to bring you as much content across the YouTubes as we can this postseason. In this case, I hope it's a deep, long, juicy postseason run. I hope to be very tired. Yeah, because why not? Listen, I was making it worse.
Once you said deep and long, you might as well say juicy too.
Good God.
There you go. How about a Blake Snell line? That's fun. Let's have a prediction on that. I have Snellzilla pitching into the 7th. I got 6 1/3. 6 1/3. Let's say 7 punchy, 5 hits, and a run. I don't know about the walks, but that's what I got.
All right.
I'm gonna write this down.
I got 6 2/3. 3 hits,
Copycat.
no runs, 1 walk, which will be the last batter he faces. He won't walk anybody through the first 6 innings. With 2 outs in the 7th, he'll walk a dude, and that's when they'll pull him out of the game, and he will get a very nice ovation from the Dodger Stadium crowd as he leaves with a 6-0 lead.
I got 5 1/3. 5 1/3, 2 runs. Why
do you hate Blake Snell?
Yeah, why is he?
Because he doesn't play for the Cubs?
I love Blake Snell. I just don't know how efficient he's going to be. It's his first playoff game at home with the Dodger crowd, which we know is going to be electric because it is. And
Boogie.
Yeah, he just walks a lot of guys. So I just don't know if he'll be efficient enough to get into the 6th inning. And yeah, I think two earns is about right, but I definitely still think the Dodgers offense will score far.
Did I say how many strikeouts? I don't think I said strikeouts.
Yeah,
9 strikeouts.
8 strikeouts. I got 8.
Okay, I'm writing this down so we can talk crap or be proud of ourselves afterwards. And Jeff, you had no runs and
3 hits, 1 walk.
And Kevin, you had 5 1/3.
5 1/3. We'll go 3 hits, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts.
How many walks?
4.
Whoa!
Yeah, if you only get through 5 1/3, you're definitely
there it
expecting
is.
some
Yeah.
walks.
Now it's locked in. That chicken scratch. You guys should have saw the first version. It looked terrible. I was doing this, and listen. I mean, don't write things while you're also trying to run a podcast on the internet.
Or if your dog's biting your hand.
David
Really tough to
says
do that.
score enough runs to keep Scott in the bullpen, or score enough runs to where you feel confident enough, comfortable enough to have Tanner Scott out.
Scoring a bunch of runs is the best chance to get Tanner Scott in this game.
Ray says don't listen to a Cubs fan. he listened. We bullied you enough before we went live yesterday where you should have realized maybe I shouldn't wear this jersey. So you're gonna have to.
But
survive.
it worked because they won today, so I want to hear it.
Hey, what do you say, Matthew Thomas?
If they knock out the Padres, I won't ever wear it again. So we're good. Just knock out the Padres.
Matty Man is says it's specific. That's what we're going for. It's called shot right there. The final one I have, Ron Stoppable. 7, 2 walks, 8 Ks, 3 hits. I'm assuming that means no runs. Again, this is why you signed Blake Snell. Go out there, let it eat Snell, and
I do think also with Glasnow on the roster, I do think the leash will be a little shorter because they can piggyback Snell and Glasnow.
But how about this? Tyler Glasnow all of a sudden is ready to go for Game 1 of the NLDS.
I think he'll still be ready.
I am so in favor of the offense scoring enough that Dave Roberts doesn't even have to think about using Tyler Glasnow in this series. I don't want to see Tyler Glasnow in this series. I'm glad they have him available. I don't want to see him. I want him fully rested for Game 1 of the NLDS or Game 2, whatever, if they go with Shohei after they sweep this one, whatever. I don't like the idea of using Glasnow in relief and then using him as a starter later in the postseason. So I hope the offense can do us a solid and make that not necessary.
The final thing, I don't think we did score predictions. Do we have a score? Jeff, do you have a score?
Yeah, 6-0.
6-0. Wowie, wow.
Well, 6-0 when Tanner Scott comes in. I'm still going with 6-0.
I'll put an
I think.
He's going to hold it. All right.
Hey, he's done that. He'll put a couple guys on base, but he's not going to allow any runs.
Kev?
I got 6-2.
6-2. Wow.
6 runs. Yeah.
Wait, who? You got your Reds winning or?
No.
I know you're a big NL Central guy.
Yeah, apparently. As I forget that Sonny Gray isn't on the Reds anymore.
I got 8-1. I'm deciding to lock in 8-1. I don't know. Says 12-1. Duff Time, by the way, has a complete
Duff
game
Man.
shutty from Blake Snell. I like it. Let's put it in there. Matty Man wants a sees a 7-6. Birasama 5-3.
No,
Whoever is closest to being right without going over wins absolutely nothing. You win the power of knowing that you can predict Dodgers wins. But I don't have anything else to add to this one. I probably inflated it longer or made it go longer than necessary, but hopefully people enjoyed the pregame show. We may do these for all or most of the games this postseason. We'll figure it out. If you guys enjoyed it, let us know by mashing that like button, heart button, sounding off in the comments, all that kind of stuff. Share with your friends, share with your grandma. Jeff, you get the final word.
Go Cubs. Right, Kevin?
Yeah. Go Cubs, go. Go Cubs, go. Or what? I don't know how the song goes.
You're singing it pretty accurately for a guy who doesn't know how it goes. No, Dodgers. Hey, Los Angeles. What do you say? Dodgers going to win today?
They have their own song. You're supposed to sing Randy.
And then win it. Well, that's after they win.
Yeah,
I don't know the lyrics to that song. It's the same with the Cubs one.
Nobody knows the lyrics to that song except for people know Big Nasty Redhead, and I love it.
I know.
And,
I could sing you
and
all
Mumble
of it.
Boulevard. People can Boulevard.
Something Highway.
You want me to
highway?
Do you want me to start? I will sing the whole song. All right, if the Dodgers win the World Series, and we get to 20,000 subscribers,
we will go to a karaoke bar together and sing it.
What is it? Imperial Highway? Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
It is Imperial Highway.
Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning into this pregame edition of the show. Don't forget, there will be a post game on Dodgers territory, post game here on All Dodgers. Please tune in, subscribe to all those channels. We'd appreciate it. Again, like this show. If you want to join us in the conversation during the game, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg, or click the join button here on YouTube. With that, you pay the $5 to support independent Dodgers coverage, and with that, you also get access to our Discord, where all the conversations are happening during the game, and I'm sure tonight will be a fun one. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll see you later tonight.
Short people got no reason. Yeah.